This review is brought to you in part by Ryder's Hobby Shops, where the fun begins. Stop in to one of Ryder's 2 convenient Michigan locations where you'll find a full range of the latest hobby products, supplies, parts, tools, and paint.
This review covers the 2010 re-release of the Revell of Germany dumper trailer kit in 1/24 scale. Now the kit was originally an Italeri kit and a new tool in 07, and this is just an exact reboxing. Now while it's hard to find them available on the secondary markets, you can still find them on online auctions, etc. Now this is a European design, and although it could be American, these are more likely to be seen over there. It's a skill level 4 kit, which means it's for the advanced builder, and contains 172 parts, molded in silver, gray, red, and has vinyl tires. Now the decals are water slide, and they include multiple European country plates and designs for the same company with different territories. The build-up is straightforward, and this kit fits very well. When you're done, it's 14.5 inches long, 4.5 inches wide, and 5 inches high, but it will extend to over 14 inches tall when it's in full dump mode. Here are the contents of the kit, and it's pretty nicely molded. You could actually just build this kit without paint, but it seems to have a better overall coloration and finish when you do. I would let you know here that we're going to be using Model Master liquid cement for most construction, occasionally super glue for fragile parts, and if there were any glass parts, we'd use some white or clear glue. Now the decals are very colorful, and the register is excellent, and there are some large ones, but most of them go on flats. However, if you find any contours or rivet or panels, you'll want to use some of the aftermarket setting solution so that they stick and conform to the contours. Get these parts out of the kit, and we'll be using these for the frame. We're going to construct most of the frame prior to painting that so that we get the best possible glue joints for the structural need there. Assemble the airbags and the spring mounts, and the shocks will be painted black and assembled later. The airbags are flat black and a 50-50 silver and gold, and there are mounts for the fenders on the frame that are black as well. Now gather up these parts and assemble all of the cross members, and note the green circle, and that's where there's a missing cross member that I did not add prior to the pick because I forgot about it, so it was added later. You will need it in there. Now the brake boosters, once again, are 50-50 silver and gold. It's a rather intricate assembly, but it actually works very well. The chassis is then assembled and painted, and the shocks are added into place at this time. We'll need these parts now to assemble the wheels, and assemble the wheel fronts and rears and then paint them chrome color. After they dry, the hub blocks are then painted flat black. Now slide the tires onto the wheels and leave the riding side faced out. Now note the yellow arrows here. We deviated from the instructions. I added the brakes with the wheel assemblies here and not earlier as in the directions. All 6 brakes are then added, and then the wheels are slid onto the axles, and only the hub blocks are glued to the axle. Now we'll get these pieces out of the kit to assemble the trailer legs, and then we leave the feet off for now and paint the legs red, and then the feet are separate. They're painted flat black. Now assemble the legs and the feet together and add them to the trailer. Now we'll collect these pieces and assemble the 6 fenders. Also assemble the tanks with their mounts, and then paint all of the units a matte black color. And then install the fenders into place with the mud flaps at the rears. Now the tanks go to the rear set of holes in the frame rail cross members. Now we'll get these parts together to start the assembly of the dumper body, and it gets assembled basically prior to painting. The red tube on the hydraulic lift, though, that's going to be matte black, and the rest are chrome, and then the bumper is a red color. Now find these parts in the kit. They include the bottom brace and some brackets, etc., and get those staged for assembly. Now on the body of bottom, install the bottom brace in its location, and then the side clamps, as you see in the yellow circles, those will be installed along with the locking clamp. And then on the back end, add the frame brace to that. Now we'll be adding these rails, etc. And you can add the top rail and the ends while adding the rear door. And then add the rear brace for the door and add the rear frame unit. Now install the inner angle ramp for that back end. Now still at this end, we're going to add the rear bumper there. So go ahead and install that, and then assemble the hydraulic ram and hold on to that for a minute. So, you get an option here between a closed dumper box and an open one. So you have to choose here, and these are the pieces for either unit. Okay, and you then paint the canvas top the color that you want. I used a drab green for mine for the closed end dumper, and then add the crank and then the 3 clips that you see were in a yellow circle there. So gather up these parts and prepare to mount the dumper to the chassis, and then paint the main dump pivots red, the hydraulic ram mounts red, and then the top mounts black. Now the brake lights are black with chrome bezels or lenses, and the wheel chocks are yellow. Now use some super glue and install the dumper pivots and the bed and the hydraulic mounts to the chassis, locking the ram into place, and the upper mounts locking the top into place. Now add the brake lenses to the lights and install those, and add the chocks. So corral these pieces, and they are used to assemble the front galley. So go ahead and assemble that according to your instructions, or look at the diagrams of pictures here, and then you can paint it aluminum to match the dumper. Now the frame brace is painted red. Now once that's done, scrape any paint from the areas of contact, take a look for those, and then install the galley into position. Now it's time to install the decals of choice. You can mostly use the box art to see where those go. And these large decals, although they are going onto flat surfaces, in order to help prevent any silvering, you might want to use some decal setting solution so that they can conform well to the contours and stick to the body. So once you have applied those, use plenty of warm water and squeeze any water or air that's trapped under the decals out using a soft tissue. Let those dry at least overnight, and then go ahead and spray a clear coat to lock them into position. I decided to put a custom plate on my dumper because I use it strictly on my gravel pit, and to do that I just printed out my logo onto some plain white paper using a color inkjet printer, and put some clear cellophane tape on each side and glued it to the tag area. But you can use any of the plates that are included in the kit, of course, and they're fairly simple to use. Just cut them out. Do not use them as decals. Just cut them out and glue them into place. Well, there you have it. This great looking dumper kit complements any big rig collection. It has great fit and finish, and the part locations were well defined with gluing points easily identified. The whole kit just falls into position, and it's a breeze to build. You could actually even paint this with just painting a few parts black, and it would still look pretty nice. So I would not be hesitant to go ahead and buy one of these and put it on my shelf. Well, we hope you liked this step-by-step premium quality model review. And so that you don't miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But you can find us on Facebook and our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks.